afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane. And first off, I've got a new microphone. Bit of a belated birthday Christmas present from my younger brother, so thanks to him. But if I do, as some of you might be noticing, I sound differently. That's why I got a new microphone. It's a blue snowball, as it's called. Around the size of my fist, so I don't know how much of a snowball it is. But there you go. Also, thanks to Morris for donating to the Propagandacast and supporting it. Most appreciated. We've got here North Price here fighting for the Wehrmacht. Germany, Deutschland, Reich. Taking on the role here of the Gross Deutschland Panzer Division versus in the south. We got here the half-incredible Fahu fighting for the Soviet Union, Socialism, and the 1st Guards Mechanized Corps. And of course, feedback on the microphone we appreciate. This so far doesn't sound too bad for me, but of course there might be some variation than what people prefer. We've got support and company start there for Fahu, who's gone for 2 Maxim bulletins there. We've got a mechanized assault start for Price with Pioneer Assault Gun and Infantry bulletins versus also Fahu with mechanized support, armored assault, and Guard motor. So double engineer Maxim there line to grab some territory there, while Price is going in very aggressively there with Pioneers and Assault Grenadiers. In fact, we've got a double Assault Grenadier start here from Price, upping up the number of submachine guns to get on the field here versus his opponent. And of course, the patch will be out here. We got final confirmation now on the 28th. I'll be making a video which should be going at the same time about this, but sort of go further into detail. But basically, March 28th is when the patch hits, with a lot of changes, plus some maps being removed from the auto-match map pool. We've got points in the south, secured, few point secured up north, point secured here. Price bringing up perhaps a bit too aggressive. I mean, he is going for assault grenadiers, who do pack more firepower in the early game, to an extent he probably won't be punished too badly for it. But still, to a larger extent, he's risky. In fact, he's going here for a triple assault grenadier start. We haven't seen this in quite some time, but nonetheless, Price is going for it. Here there's a Gross Deutschland Panzer Division, so named because, well, the division sort of recruited initially these members from across Germany. It also in fact started out like a regiment before sort of being slowly expanded, but there. And thusly it became known as the Gross Deutschland because, unlike where most German divisions would sort of recruit from specific regions or towns, again it just sort of recruited, from across entire Germany or Gross Deutschland. Usually the best. So going to maximum moving towards the centre here for Fahu, second maximum away as well for him. Points him secured by the assault grenadier, so everyone sort of managed to secure several points. In fact, so almost got, there we go, in fact does have both few points here against his opponent. Maxim sneaking up here, setting up there. That should give the assault grenadiers a bit of problems. In the south there, he's could push further southwards here, hit territories there, maybe even trying to sneak up through the southern part of the map into behind Fahu here in the centre. Fahu needs to certainly try and drive towards the few point in this regard. Again, he ends up making a bit of a mistake. Some players, which normally would be more Axis players, but they tend not to focus on the few points, that they tend to get a bit too big focus on the centre of the map. We got a max on the way there for Fahu, a third one, point there being secured. Ignition looks like to be sneaking up behind Price, got work there. Assault grenadiers threatened to be suppressed, produced away. Second squad under fire there from the Maxims as well, pulling away there. And the south he basically sort of begins cutting up the southern territories there for Fahu. Really punishing Fahu here for a slightly sluggish start with his Maxims. And overall, again, focusing too hard in the centre, where Price so far is not making any big efforts to, grab. As you might notice, he's actually trying to seize as much as the rest of the map as possible. Overall, I think just playing a bit more of an alacrious mind there against Fahu. Pioneers there slightly doing some reconnaissance, trying to spot out. They're trying to figure out where does Fahu have other machine guns, set up so he doesn't run into it. But there we go. 2 Maxims versus the assault grenadiers up here by the northern victory point. They're clearly taking a lot of damage. You will need to retreat them before they suffer anything heavy. In this case, there's a small chance that they actually get away mostly alive, in which case you can just build up a medic bank and then heal up the damage. We got Tech up there. We got an MD-42 as well here for Price, who's basically going for, I wouldn't quite call it Tier 2 Roush, but it's certainly not your usual Tier 1 strategy either. But there you go, assault grenades here. And assault grenades probably one of the units that actually benefit from the upcoming patch. And several bits, including the grenade, become faster to throw, cheaper to throw, plus again a decent Veterans U1 bonus, amongst other things. But there you go. Harassment here going on. Overall, Fahu suddenly finding himself under assault here by Price, who just really sort of throwing himself in at several points versus Fahu, who's again really sort of focusing on the centre of the map, and again finally sort of realising he needs to grab some of the other parts of the map. Otherwise, it's not really going to be able to get much out there against Price. Again, I think sort of just realised what Fahu was up to and just decided that the best opening for that was heavy assault grenadiers, and then just take the rest of the map there, allowing Fahu to gain the centre of the map there. And even then, he uses that against Fahu, so trying to sneak about and sort of hit him from several angles. I mean, overall, Price a lot, making I think a rather smart opening there. Like to make a nice company. Could support with half tracks. I mean, versus a maximum heavy start there. Flame for half tracks is a very good choice there. Hell, even just regular ones, and then using the assault grenadiers to sort of sit past could work. We'll have to see though how it actually ends up here between Fahu and Price. Certainly is a bit different with this new microphone because it's basically one you put on the desk, and the one I used to was basically just one, you know, attached to my headset. So there's this part of my headset that's gone. It's a bit disorienting. It's a bit weird. We got the half track out here for Price, 251. Quick up in there with a flame for a half track. Flame for a half track was usually part of the headquarters battalion, I believe, or headquarters company. They sort of more specialist units went there to sort of support whoever needed, plus some other smaller reserve elements that could be thrown in wherever needed. And here we got two assault gunners standing back. The Maxims are pretty close. We got another Maxim standing up to cover the first one. Good sharp move there by Fahu. In this case, Price can't really sprint out of that one. He quickly finds himself suppressed. Fighting around the field point up here, but there he goes suppressed again. Engineers flanking behind, pushing away Price. There's now Fahu has actually gained a nice fat chunk of the map back. Plus, he's actually thinking ahead. He realized again he's actually a bit behind Price, so he sets up a fuel cache on the cutoff point. That's actually some good foresight there by Fahu. Flame for half track, rushing into the centre, and now it's again to see a bit of a problem here with fast strategy, whereby he's gone for guards motor. And that is very much that flame for half tracks will very much hard counter it because Fahu's got no anti-vehicle options. I mean, he could have laid down some mines, obviously, but he never quite got around to that. And the Maxims, I mean, base would require the flame for half track to really set himself up in a poor position to have a chance versus it. So this is quickly working out there for Price. Guardsman on the way there, that is probably going to be one of his best options initially for dealing with the flame for half track, and that can sort of slightly not quite work out. And there we go. Fuel cache being spotted, so right here for Fahu, this could end up in another situation where you just build the fuel cache and it gets wrecked before you can really get any advantage out of it. So this is quickly turning rather rough here for Fahu, and the first guards making a score here. As the flame for a half track strikes. Engineers have been forced to rush past. Got moving up, but definitely not good there for Fahu. In that regard, you know, securing some of the southern territories and then setting up caches there probably been a bit safer, but that's easy to say at this stage. Assault grenadiers under fire, got moving up. They're taking fire there from the flame for a half track. The assault grenadiers aren't really a threat unless he decides to run up to them. The flame for half track on the hand can do a bit, but the PTRSs there do present quite a threat to the flame for half track, which does fall sort of way. But nasty little assault here by Price. The flame for half track really did excellent work for him against Fahu. And threw back Fahu up north. The assault grenadiers hit a minus. They go for the fuel point. Cutoff point there, cut off, pretty much denying Fahu access to his fuel point. And he's also there rushing southwards with several Maxims, trying to spread out and open up other avenues around the just constantly trying to just push down for a very sort of narrow arc here. Definitely a very good move here. Got to get caught by the MG42. Nice position in the house that previously was a Maxim cruise. He's going to need some repairs on that one. And he's already taking up. He in fact could go for a Zapoma Corps pretty soon. Fahu himself is all taking up. He's got the tank returning command. But Price has definitely got the lead here resource-wise over Fahu. Again, focusing too hard in the centre and then not being remotely ready here for the flame for a half track has rather given Price his series of notable advantages here in the early game. I mean, he hasn't done too much damage with the assault grenadiers, but their just sheer mobility has rather made it more difficult for Fahu to do a lot of things. So it's rather worked out to an extent there for Price. Though again, they really haven't done any much of real damage. One squad's gotten 4 kills and that's it really. So far the advantage has basically been in their sheer mobility more than anything. 10 kills in the flame for half track, eventually 2. That one is definitely paying itself off here versus Fahu. He's definitely paying itself off, but he's going to need to repair it soon. You can soon try and rush. You could rush out a half track here that wouldn't do so much there. T70 or the H67 though would probably have more success here. The soldiers push back there by the guardsmen, and up north the soldiers got number 2 coming in and try and deal with the guardsmen. And the south here, Maximum being engaged by the flame for half track once more, and it is already getting pretty close to 2-3. I mean, this kind of maximum heavy sort of situation, the flame for half track is very much what we call a hard counter. So very sharp, astute choice. There we got soldiers moving up versus guardsmen. Light cover there. If you can pop in a grenade, you might have a chance. The problem is right now here they are suffering too many losses due to low health, and the assault grenade is quickly sweep past. The maximum was not close enough to support here. Point there secured. Still some time off from any kind of light vehicle. And meanwhile, Price going to rush out of Stug on Osmond here. And meanwhile, he's also going for an additional machine gun. Probably expecting more infantry here from Fahu. He's basically bringing up more machine guns to keep them in check. Fahu could consider having mortar support in return, but so now that, of course, more guardsmen could also prove a prudent choice to bring up either the H-26 or the T-70 to help deal with the flamethrower half-track. I mean, that thing certainly has the potential to be a sizable threat there to Fahu, and certainly make it very difficult to produce his maximus, and particularly inside houses. So, of course, it can quickly burn them up horribly. There you go, Guardsman being healed. He could front some DP light machine guns, but then again, mines I think at this point are a much better choice there, better chance of actually catching that half track and then sort of stopping it, making an easier target then for the rest of Fahu's forces to dispose of. But he can soon go for the Ostwind. He's got the TCM away there on their hand for Fahu, and the first Guards mechanized corps. Assault going to do with Pioneer supporting southwards. Got the Maxim rushing in here, ready to sort of try and stall it. There we go. And there goes Spritman. In this case, not quite fast enough. Not quite fast enough. Machine gun there. Flamethrowers need to get close, and they need to do it fast. We've got the flamethrower from support here, so I don't think that's going to quite work out. There we go. Even if they're trying to burn something else, they're getting burned themselves horribly. Ja, sis is a Flammenwerfer. You Marxist scum. Sis burns things properly. And there you go, just rushing in. Now with guards from there, and of course keeping away there. Price is going to have a harder time with this flamethrower half-track. Also, Price here again striking the south. Price is showing himself to be quite an able harasser. Lost the machine gun though to a very well thrown grenade there from the guard. And that's actually quite a loss there for Price. The only consolation is Fahu wasn't able to seal it for himself. He's in there flanking up, going here straight for the other machine gun. Oh dear, that could end up a bit poorly there. Already suffering one loss. Ludwig being splattered across the ground. There you go. Second one also in a lot of trouble, but gets away, gets away. In this case, Fahu a bit too slow to pursue with his T-70, and that way allowing him before Ludwig away. And meanwhile, Price also makes a choice. It's going to be the Stug 3G. Help deal. This Russische leichte Panzer. T-70 light tank. Also, fun fact, Russian drivers apparently barely got any training until I think late 1942. Until then, it wasn't apparently something that the Russians considered very important, which obviously gave a lot of problems for the Russian tanks. Just a little fun detail there. Been reading up lately, getting some details here and there. Assault engineers or pioneers retreating in this case. Interesting enough, it's just an assault or engineer unit, but apparently in this case, Price didn't think it was worth the bother sticking about. Maxim sitting up there. T-70 actually could hurt them a bit on retreat, but that was actually what Price was more worried about. The T-70 was all rushing down there to deal with them, so he basically just retreated. You got a mine there. That could kill some of them, but likely in this case, they're going to get up pretty scot-free there. We got the flamethrower tank taking northwards. Stug supporting here. The Stug 3G advancing. Shoots, misses. After netting hits from the T-70. Several hits there already going off. Guard coming up there. Engineers Maxim a bit of trouble. Assault grenadiers rushing forwards here under fire. Looking a bit ugly there for them. Down to 4 men. Guardsmen are suffering heavily as well. There we go. Stug gets it on the T-70. Need to pull back. Need to pull back. He's popping self-repair to increase his ability, and he not popped it right there. That T-70 went dead. So that was a very good reaction there by Fahu. Very good reaction. Expensive, obviously, but you know it's hard out. Losing 200 manpower and 70 fuel, which 60 munitions is definitely worth. Very close to losing the match to the flamethrower half-track now with veteranly 3 and 18 kills for the fatherland. Here in the east, Guardsmen grabbing the point here. We got 2 guard squads in out for Fahu, and Price is going for a second half-track. Is he actually planning on using that one for reinforcement? So he's actually going for double flamethrower half-tracks. I mean, that would be pretty extreme if you were to go for double flamethrower half-tracks. Generally don't see that. Generally you don't see double half-tracks in general. And even if it's a mix. So, I mean, either way, that's going to stand out. And he's, in fact, going for a double flamethrower half-track. Price is going to just burn down the entire town. Price is the new edict embodied, apparently. Anyways, Maxim then pushing back assault grenadiers. He should consider, I think, a field gun track to support them besides the H-26. Then again, if the field gun gets surprised by the flamethrower half-tracks, that's going to die pretty badly. But there you go, just rushing ahead here. Machine gun fire here between Maxim and MD-42. The Maxim should be the winner here unless the flamethrower half-track get in there to just burn them out. And there we go, he's rushing it forward. Fahu still doesn't have a lot of anti-tank to support the front line, but we've got the H-6M rolling ahead. Church quickly abandoned as Price gets to work burning it down. Yeah, burning down the house. You know, Archer, you don't have to sing it every time you do it, especially when you're doing the churches. It's not quite right, you know. But there you go, H-6 now around. We've got the Stug 3D, the moving ahead, and shoots. Misses the H-6 ready to get another hit. Flamethrower after takes another hit. Interesting enough, that might have been a miss because you do fire projectiles, which of course you can hit other targets than the intended one, by the way. Stug 3D though continues. Flamethrower after is pushing up. Guardsman, another Maxim moving in there. Bit of Maxim holding up here. Assault is securing the car pole there for the eastern munitions. Guardsman advancing. They need to get the H-6M. And where's the T-70? Alright, that's moving up as well now. Another shot fired, another miss. Not having much luck there with the H-6M here for Fahu and the 1st Guards Mechanized Corps. Maxim dealing with some troops in the south. T-70 quick will try to deal with them. And up north here, Assault just hit another mine. Some nice mining there from Fahu. Sadly, it just doesn't end up catching the vehicles, which is probably wants more than anything. But there you go, Fahu though is not giving up. He is not letting up with the mines. And that is good work. At least Price Assault is beginning to do a bit more. They're actually getting in some kills there. And they're going to South Pioneers versus the T-70 light tank. Bombardment here from the S-6M. And there go, house collapsed. It looks like there were no casualties inside of it. Flamethrower half-track pushed back. And we had a Ford command bunker here, but looks like going up from Price. That or medic bunker, but that doesn't make an awful lot of sense here, so I'm assuming it's going to be a command bunker here for Price for some forward reinforcement.
Light artillery awaits your orders.
And the T-70 went down to mine that Price has laid down behind enemy lines so much earlier. That's definitely not bad. But there you go, command bunker halfway done. He's going to go for the Stug to support. The Stug by the way will also be affected here by the upcoming patch. Either way though, at least he's not just relying on it, he's actually used assault grenadiers first, and who knows, he might even call in a mechanized assault group. I mean, that certainly stand out a bit. But either way, the command bunker pretty much ensures that Price is going to be a lot more difficult to push out in the northern half of the village. Whereas again, the Fahu's got nothing like that. He's got no half-tracks, for example. Maximum assault here with the Stug and quick retreats. Fahu grabbing the northern fuel frontier away from Price. And the Groß Deutschland, 2nd MD-42, or 3rd technically. A lot of machine guns out there, Stug running a bit back and forwards. Assault is here with some flamethrower half-track support. H-6M could be able to deal with that. Shoots, misses. And close this time, but there goes Stug moving in. Or Stug G, I mean. Got a hit there, got a hit. Not sufficient entertainment, I think, to deal with the Stug G. There you go, target weak point from Price's Stug 3G. Guardsman moving up to defend the flank. There you go, buttoning it up. She can't quite see there, can't quite see. And we got the Maxim one with a flame for half-tech. Stug, the S-6 still can't fire. There we go, Stug G's buttoning up, lifts, and there you go, at the same time that happens. The S-6 can fire again, but he's quickly pulling it back. He does not want to risk it anymore versus Price, who's already here threatening the flank here. Maxim barely repels the assault grenadiers there. Got some DP light machine guns up there, but the assault grenadiers do make it out of it alive. Quickly getting the cut-off point there, even as he's been losing the southern fuel point here to the other assault grenadier squad here from Price. Stug moving into advanced support, and Stug G there receiving repairs halfway to H2, and there we go up north. Maxim swarmed with the flamethrower half-track and the Pioneers. A lot of fire there, a lot of flamethrowers. Also, as a fun fact, the flamethrower half-track, we actually had a 3rd flamethrower mounting on it, but it actually been one that had to be wielded by an infantryman, sort of being close then to the half-track. which was then of course connected to the main fuel tank inside the half-track. That's a little fun detail there. But maximum wipe there for Fahu, quite a lot. In fact, he's lost 2 maxims now. No sign of tech there from Fahu versus Price. No sign of anything there as of yet. Garsman is being suppressed. There we go. Maxim here trying to push forward, but again with the flame half-track nearby, this is pretty reckless. And there we go. 27 kills on that thing. 31, 32, 33. Second Maxim wiped here. That thing is on a spree, and there you go. Hits the mine, but wipes an engineer squad here. Fahu taking massive losses, but he's also been flooding a ton of manpower. Looks like he's been too busy with other things, but he's definitely been out, Price to just further pressure because Price isn't flooding nearly that many resources. So Fahu here calling in, hey, Morty just quickly sort of do something with his resources, but he also needs to tech up. He needs to get out some armor. He needs to pressure Price more aggressively. So we'll have to see how that works out. Price here refusing to have anything to do with the substandard equipment here. Only German equipment into German army. Quickly knocking out then the Maxims. Got the T-Sim in the way there though again for Fahu. No tech up. Oh yes, actually taking up at the same time. So why is he going for the T-Sim now when he's probably better off trying to stay up for the T-3045 on S-35 rather than just going for a T-70? That's, I don't know, not quite the most efficient, I think, move there by Fahu. We'll have to see though. Quickly proven wrong here. Maximuming ahead. Another Stug 3G on the way for Price, who's overall just relying on assault guns and flame for half-tracks and assault grenadiers. Definitely a less than usual force composition here. Well, them up player. There we go. Good hit. Almost 22 than the H6M. The M standing for modernized. Second shot misses. Got him to press, but then before 2. But I say couldn't try and bombard it with this. Oh no, we got the Stug 3G moving in. Shoots. Gets a good hit there, Betty 2. Still no field guns, anything there from Fahu. And he lost the heavy mortar already. Holy moly, and there you go. The assault guns actually managed to get out with the grenade assault. And they run. Oh, he lost the assault gun to the squad. That was actually his most veteran unit. But he should be able to get away with the heavy mortar. Oh dear, that was a bit not good for Fahu. I mean, again, just further, don't float resources, Fahu. Get out some more troops, get out some more guardsmen at least, and get out some tanks soon. I mean, you could at least gotten the T-70 a bit faster out in the field, in which case he might be able to just rush in, just to maybe save that mortar, but who knows. Either way, though, that is now German equipment. And the Germans did outright copy the 120mm mortar, by the way. Just outright copied it. Didn't modify it or anything. MD-42 in the ice, continuing to be a nuisance there for Fahu, but there we go, we got an assault gun barrage shotgun against it. Landing close, but not really having any serious impact there. A lot of water, a lot of ice being kicked up, but no Germans. No Germans. Assault gets rushing forwards. Got the second flame for half-track moving ahead here. That's got 7 kills versus the 37 of the other one. 37! I'm really surprised that Fahu just keeps pushing ahead his Maxims there with no support there, despite knowing that Price has got several flamethrower half-tracks roaming about in the battlefield, ever eager to wipe his Maxims, even if he's just careless for one single moment. It's discovered here the Stug 3G, but managed to pull away before it takes a return hit. Not quite, not quite. It's from northwards, pushing back the flamethrower half-track there. 39 kills for the fatherland, close to 40. Not very often you get to see them, but considering the way that Fahu so far has been reacting to the flame for a half-track, it does, seem plausible there. And again, the flame for half-track very much sort of just punishes support weapons, in particular Maxims. Double Maxim seeing northwards. In this case, there's an H-6 supporting it. Fahu needs some more fuel though. And then again, Price securing in the southern half of the map. Dark almost swapped out by the now German heavy mortar here. Manned by primarily assault squad leaders. That's a bit more dangerous there for Fahu. Definitely needs to spread out his Maxims. And there we go. He finally brought up a field gun. Took him a bit there, I would say. Took him a bit. Don't Maxim nearby. Get the anti-tank up to support it. You should expect an anti... Aha. Dear Fahu. That was a bit disheartening to watch there. And you could at least, use tracking here to allow to see further on the move. But there goes Hawkins being spotted here by engineers. T7 supporting. Quickly opening up with his 45mm gun. There you go, killing several assault grenadiers there. Threatening to kill a few more. Now the common mistake, by the way, by Soviet tankers in the early stages of the war was also they weren't apparently very careful with their guns. In many cases they get the main gun and the tank damaged. Now, there are many details there in the early war. Apparently also it was very quickly made, punishable being sent to a penal unit for losing your tank. Except outside of combat. But even then, if you got tank damaged, you couldn't just abandon it. You had to stay with it. If you came back to the, rest of the army without a tank, you'd be dispatched to the penal unit in many cases. And there are cases of people having their tank stolen by other units and then being sent to a penal unit. So, surprisingly, if you're looking at some penal troopers, those could apparently consider being quite a few tankers. Interestingly enough. You got plenty of especially into the T-70 though, firing with its 45mm gun. Hey, mortified there against in the south here. You got a Stug moving about. You can go for the T-34-76, but obviously you might want to stay up for the T-35. Getting the northern field pump, got the Stug moving in and getting the T-70 shooting back though. Field gun nearby, turning about here to fire. Remember to use tracking. Tracking is a pretty good ability. It's just so underutilized. It's pretty much like taking for the American anti-tank gun, except again you're getting on your assault guns and tank destroyers, plus the logistic stuff in the mini-map. But they're going for 2 could do with the bombardment from the F-6. Either way, he did get one of the Stug Gs there against Price. Halftrack also taking hits there. Other one is close to it to 2. Maximum C firing away. We've got a big push into the centre here from Fahu. We've got a chili cold in here on the support position. Halftrack goes down in flame and fire. Virtually feeling the F-6 Ember. There goes Stug G, lands an excellent hit. They're gaining virtually to itself. Oh dear, target weak point. Need to pull back the assault gun. Fahu. Quickly, comrades! Oh dear, and Price claims another one for the fatherland, knocking it out there with the Stug 3G. Fahu there losing quite a bit and losing that ace. H-6 Ember definitely not good. In the south, you got the Stug moving about here. Fahu can though soon go for the T-35M, and well, not M, just threaten for Price a bit more. Back at base, we've got nothing further going on for him. No tech up, and he's also beginning to let infantry pretty aggressive. In fact, now it's Price turn to be flooding resources. Come on, man. At least go for some panzer grenadiers, some more assault grenadiers, and just, fill out the ranks a bit. Don't just, float 1,100 manpower. Stug attacking the base. Is that a diversion or is there some other plan there for Price? Price to Canton, go for the target against Fahu. We got maximum suppressed by the MD-42 veteran T2 there. Back here, nothing further going on for Price and the Großdeutschland. We got a bit of shooting here. Spotting hit with the T-70, almost getting the flame for a half-track there, which has gotten 43 kills. And there we go. Tiger out for Price and the Großdeutschland. Rolling ahead there. Bombarding there the MG-42. Not quite working out there. If we get rid of the command bunker though, that would... Oh, there we go. He managed to entirely annihilate it. That's quite a loss there for Price though. A full wipe by the field gun. Got the Stug moving in. Fahu can go for the T-35, but at this point he might just want to go for the H-5. I mean, that's going to help a lot more versus the Tiger tank. But so far, nothing from Fahu or the mechanized armor company. And there we go, engaging the maximum crew. Stug pulling back here behind the Tiger tank for safety and support. Another MD-42 in the later for Price, no assault grenadiers or anything. And Fahu, there we go, is going for the T-35. No attempted H-5 against Price's Panzerwaffe. As the Tiger spearheads the effort to regain the centre of the map. Field gun shots bouncing off the thick frontal armour of the Tiger tank. There we go, veteran to 1 gained. going for a second field gun, so he's going to rely on field guns here to deal with whatever Price has to. Of course, he has to keep in mind that Price does have a heavy mortar, which could very well make dealing with those field guns pretty easily, particularly just lays down a smoke screen. Oh, we've got that heavy mortar firing away there. Price, though, really should go for some more infantry. I mean, he could even continue a mechanized assault if he wants to. Just get out some more troops. Stug G down the pursuit. T7 trying to get away. Got the T-35, they're rolling in. Guys going to be advancing. Tiger, Stug here going straight for the field gun. Without no infantry support or screen, the field gun is a lot more vulnerable here to the Germans, who lay down a lot of high explosive fire and wipes it up pretty quickly. Not quite, of course, fully reflecting, the average survivability of an anti-tank gun once spotted, but I suppose close, because once an anti-tank gun was spotted by a tank, in many cases, it was going to be a very short-lived experience for the anti-tank gun crew, as they would quickly be knocked out, as the gun shield didn't really protect against direct hits, mostly against shrapnel and likes. Field gun there, quick recruit though, could give Price a bit of trouble. T-35 they're all heavily damaged, trying to flank, so trying to engage the Germans head on. I mean, a Tiger, all that. Oh, close to getting the Tiger there, the field gun taking heavy damage, second field gun opening up this road. Tiger almost there, but he doesn't quite have the resources to finish it off there. His tank is too damaged, he can't flank about. Got the Stug G there moving up, halfway to victory free, if not closer. Field gun wiped out again, and there you go. Price quickly singles it out for destruction. And Fahu there with an MG42. He's actually got 5 machine guns now. Most of them maximum, but there's apparently a single MG42 there in the arsenal. Playing for halftrack striking northwards there, and 43 kills still. Command bunker though is still standing and serving very much as a strong point here for Price in the northern half of the village. Troops retreating for reinforcements and perhaps just to find better positions. T-35 there is going to repairs. Self-repair could help out, and all getting some engineers on it. T-70 being fixed up. Close to victory 2, and I still think Fahu should consider an H-35 tank destroyer to help us the Tiger, but even versus the Stug, it could help a bit there since it does actually have slightly longer range than it. It's not a huge deal. I mean, the Stug has 55 range and the H-35 has 60 range, but still even that can make a bit of a difference at times. And Price is going for tier 4. Could you be planning a Panther now? I mean, considering what he's got right now, I'd still wish some more infantry, but it's overall not a bad point to choose him. He's got plenty of armor, he's got a decent advantage versus Fahu. On the other hand, of course, it's not going to be an easy domination thing because Fahu's still got a large force. The biggest advantage Price probably has is also just victory points. So, I mean, I can sort of see it working out here. I mean, going for tier 4 at the moment as Savannah is a pretty risky move in most cases.
And heavy tanks are now available.
But there we go. It is on the way for Price and the Groß Deutschland. Tiger almost good to go. Close to Victions 1. Up north, we got a bunker going down to defend the northern fuel point.
Pioneers ready for assignment.
Machine guns under fire from other machine guns. Got the issue of field gun going up. That's the T-70 spotting ahead for them. And we got the T-35 there, rolling ahead to strike fear into the hearts of the fascists. Tiger bombarding, holding together the Guardian from advancing too far. T-35 can try to support in the north, but ignores it, getting far, getting rather focused on the centre of the map. And all up to far considers actually just to sneak some hints about through here and sort of harass around here. Apparently Fahu's not putting that one either. Heavy Panzer Corps going up there for Price. Close to done already.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Landing a good hit on the T-35, pushing it back. It was still secure on the northern half of the map. They want it again. Heavy mortar fire, Stug's Tiger in the centre and the south. We've got Stug E versus the Guardsmen there, firing back as much as they can. If they can reach the house, they might have a chance. It looks like Fahu is not quite interested in that without any sort of additional cover. Well, this should very much be engagement with the Stug is going to win. In the centre, troops just being suppressed. Not really making much progress there for Fahu and the first mechanised corps. And there it goes, going for the Katyusha. It's going to line artillery to try and blast his way through Price's lines, losing a maximum there to artillery fire. 16 kills on the heavy mortar. Pretty good there. No attempt to regain the northern points for that matter here by Fahu. So Fahu is largely running into some issues here and there against Price, and while briefly they had more overall pop cap rate, that's quickly sort of vanishing. Which again, I would say not the most efficient battle tactics here. But there you go, T-7 strike north, it's now catching here the assault grenadiers. Doing some damage but getting no kills, could deal with the bunker. Stug moving ahead. Katusha almost done there for Fahu, and there you go, flanks here the T-7 and the Stug G. We got the T-5 problem to deal with, there we go. Got the T-72 fast there for Fahu to react, and there you go, veteran fleet on the Stug 3G, increasing mobility and rate of fire, forming a more lethal Ace Sturmgeschosskuh. That's definitely going to be bad news there for Fahu, but there you go, Katusha fires. Pretty good target here, if you can hit anything that is. But there you go, several hits on the command bunker. It looks like that might in fact be what he's aiming for here. We're getting too close there, and close here, but not enough done there. Field gun firing at the Tiger, shots bouncing, T-45 supporting. Still to try and aim for initiative fire, I think. And clearing out this in the north, also think would be a good choice there for Fahu. Guardsman flanking here, we got assault gunners nearby. Taking losses from mines, Tiger taking damage to the field gun and the guardsman's PTRSs. We got the Stug the response from south. There we go, the entire house collapses, wiping out the guards fort there. Instigated sandwich between two high explosive shots. Maximum got into the assault gunners here by the southern field point. Preparing here the command bunker. Katusha halfway before can fire. And Price is going for the Sturmpanzer. I mean, he's fighting a large infantry force, so that makes sense. Plus, he's got the Tiger and the Veterinary 3 Stug, so he doesn't need Panther desperately. Whereas the Sturmpanzer could probably help him sort of blast Fahu out of his craters. That definitely does make sense here. T-5 Power advancing. Veterans you won. Got the Stug 3 there quickly blitzing ahead. Shoots and penetrates. Sturmpanzer 4 halfway done. Fielder gets good in the Stug 3G. Gaining veteran between the process. Sturmpanzer almost done. The southeast Stug covering up. And Katusha very close there. But really, Fahu should be aiming for an initiative 5 here. You could also consider bombarding, maybe he's just trying to knock out the machine gun with that heavy mortar. 17 kills. Artillery barrage called in on the field gun. Good choice there by Price. As everything is going on in the pandemonium here. He was hoping to maybe catch Fahu a bit off guard and maybe wipe it, or at least force him to look back. Allowing his other units to move ahead. And there goes Sturmpanzer out there for Price and the Großdeutschland. Back here, Katusha ready to fire again. The Stalin organ plays another tune. And the bunker is kaput. Bit of loss there for Price. And almost, I think, landed a devastating hit down the mortar crew, but didn't quite pull it off. And is in fact now Betsy 2 with 19 kills. The heavy mortar is very much paying off for Price. Fahu less so. And there goes Sturmpanzer, lands a good hit against the Maxim. Plus, I imagine maybe a heavy mortar round having a bit of an impact as well. But Sturmpanzer's quick to pull back.
Artillery barrage ready to launch.
Playing never mind, he's actually managed to get it up there fast, and he's now upgrading for a second command bunker. Apparently also unearthing a corpse. My god, such Jürgen! He owes me money, such scheiße bastard. He's already died. Damn it, I'll never get that money back. Got the Sturmpanzer going here towards the centre fires and lands a half decent hit. Targeting support, Maximum retreating, Sturmpanzer shoots, gets a much better hit off there, but needs to pull back, targeting the field and gets a good hit. Got the T-5 flying southwards, setting hits from the Stug E. The soldiers are being pushed back with the T-45. He could again get hit for the Stug, or the H-5, but again, he might also end going for another T-45, which would not benefit him so much here, I think. Tiger continues to prowl, the hunt here, but flanked here by the field gun, close to Veterinary 3, if he can actually get it. And he actually remembers he was tracking there, could probably actually gotten Veterinary 3, which would have made it much more lethal towards the Tiger. And in fact, any armor Price would have had, since that really just boosts his rate of fire and penetration, notably. Up north, the engineers versus the flame for half-track. Another Katusha barrage. Landing around here, getting hits from the machine gun, and whoa! Almost right. I think he actually got. Didn't quite get one. It was close, but not quite. And almost got the heavy mortar this time around. Almost, but not quite. Stug here taking heavy damage from the field gun. Veteran 3 gained. Quickly forcing Price to pull back his Sturmgeschütz. But Fahu is bleeding out, trying to bash his head in against Price here, and he's finally going for the HQ5 tank destroyer. Darkly trying to deal with the Tiger, but that's not really having much of an impact. The field gun slightly edging ahead. You can see here that Price is quick to pull back his armor there from the front line. He could consider a bit of a flankman in that regard. Price is very much ultimately just head on attacks. I mean, he could even consider maybe an assault through here, in which case, if he were to do it now, he might have a chance of catching the Katyusha and knocking that one out. But that might be a small window of opportunity that he will quickly be closing. But we got the SU-5 tank destroyer there, almost done for Fahu. Finally. Stug halfway to Veteran G2. Machine gun here, Tiger being slowly fixed up. Stug 3G pulling back, heavily damaged.
We have a new Su-85 to deploy.
And here, Pani stinging about. Flamethrower going to need some repairs. SU-5 tank destroyer arrives, based on the T-34 chassis. Those not awares. Quickly moving ahead.
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
That should certainly present a bit of an extra threat there to Price's armor, which is supported by the Veteran 3 field gun. They can do a lot of damage to even the heaviest tank there very quickly. In particular, once the HQ5 itself gains some veterancy as well. Oh, heavy mortar fire there takes out a lot of the Maxims there. Fires again here. Still intent on knocking out that command bunker. Got it. Fire just slowly creeping ahead. Not any attempt to maybe try and take initiative from Price or surprise him with anything. Just sort of a slow, cautious advance. HQ5 field gun setting up here to cover. There you go. Tiger advances, taking hits from the HQ5 tank destroyer. Field gun shoots as well. Bounces. Bit of bad luck, but there you go. HQ5 lands another penetrating hit there. Storm Punch quickly the next target. There you go. The HQ5 trying to deal with that. Oh, it quickly gets behind the hedges there. Field gun advances, but needs to be careful he doesn't get too close. In this case, it could risk his opponent just driving up here and then shooting across the hedgerows and just knocking it out. But there you go. Wipes the Maxim in the center. HQ5 shoots and. Looks like he got a hit there. Or something else did. Tiger close to T2. We got the Maximum under fire. Stug continues to just guard the southern route in case Fahu actually tries to flank around and hit Price from that angle. But so far, Fahu seems just again very heavily focused on the center, like he's suffering from a quite severe case of tunnel vision. You got Mines going down to cover his flanks. I mean, he's worried about the flanks, but he's not, concerned enough to try and, flank himself. Third command bunker up there for Price. That is nice to see someone activating the use of command bunkers and, again, very much sticking to them. I still think should have gone for more infantry, but so far it does seem to be working out here with all the armor he's got. And there we go, we got artillery holding it against Fahu's northern Maxim. Got the Stug going straight for the HQ5. He's using target weak point. Excellent work there. Target supporting. Needs to get the Storm Punch in there. He could also use the Stug to flank in from the south here. But there you go. Got the HQ5 here using the Stug 3G and his target weak point. Excellent work there. Devastating and gutting Fahu's armor defense. Almost got them for the Veteran 3 field gun, but he doesn't quite knock it out there, allowing it to just pull back here. Close but no cigar for Price. Another Katyusha barrage here. This time against the northern machine gun here. Hitting the command bunker again. And the ice. Close 52. Up north, we've got the T-5 rushing back. The assault is down the northern field pond there. But also got the machine gun bunker. Seems a curious choice to do that now, but I'm guessing it's just to sort of help him feel he's actually achieved something, because center map wise, it's definitely not the story of great progress versus Price. And there you go, another push this time supported with the Stug E and the Sturmpanzer. Stug 3D has been pulled back. repairs. Gartner getting shattered. Just encountering pretty much all of Price's heavy anti-infantry options. That is quite the harsh experience there for Fahu and his troops. But there you go, pushing forwards again, right into the Tiger, into the Sturmpanzer, you name it. Plus those two fine anti-aircraft machine guns, or the about machine guns there at the Russian aircraft. Shoots there, wipes an engineer unit. Fahu nonetheless to continue onwards for the motherland. Raiding the odds. Flanked here though by the T-55 Katyusha, setting up, maybe trying to fire from another angle at the Price here. Mentioned to 3 machine gun on the center victory point. Tiger gaining victory to increase range and such. T-55 trying to deal with machine gun. Katyusha almost good to go. Field gun also doing what it can here. Getting a lot of downside into the Stug E. Katyusha could fire around here, I guess. Trying to do some damage that way to Price. Almost ready to fight. T-55 getting some hits. Aircraft crashing into the ice. Sinking below the wave. There goes Stug 3G, getting the T-55, there you go, target weak point again, good use of the ability by Price. Katyusha's ready to fire. Very close to Veteran T2. And there we go, fires. And again, this time around here. Got another machine gun. Almost got the command bunker as well. Sadly, he didn't get all the armor Price has. Stug then knocks out, looks like a maximum there that's left behind by Fahu's increasingly dying forces. But he is switching to the Katyusha, which does allow to shoot faster, which I suppose is something here for Fahu. Guys with advancing strength machine gun fire, the element has been recruited as well. Ultimately, without much of a smoke screen, I mean, these kinds of assaults just don't work out for him. And again, he doesn't have the mortar because that's what Price has, and he never replaced his own mortar, which could also, help him with these kinds of assaults. There again, throw down a smoke screen, deny the machine guns the ability to fire and then just, push forwards. But he never quite did. And there you go. He's building a 4th bunker here. A 4th command bunker for Price and the CoH2 Deutschland. You don't see very often 4 command bunkers. There you go, cancelled or just blown to bits. Almost got the machine gun there. Katyusha there just hammering away. Almost wiped the machine gun there. Maximus setting up right in front of the Tiger. Not going to work out. Field gun dealt with. Leaving him only with the T-35, which is Veteran 2. And that's not really going to have the best of chances versus a Tiger, Veteran 2, and a Stug 3G, Veteran 3. 125 versus 319. Shoots and misses. Maximum under fire. Further down until we got the T-55. Finally trying something that resembles a flank, but even then it's not going to be too effective. We got the Stug 3D ready to fire. Target weak point takes hit there though. And there we go. Lands it. Sturmpanzer shoots. Fails to penetrate. Stug E supporting. And he's going for a second target weak point here to ensure that T-35 will not be firing at Price's force anytime soon. Flying about in circles here, Stug E gets another penetrating hit. The Sturmpanzer might be able to get it. Of course, the Stug 3G could end up doing it. And there we go, the T-35 goes down, and that is the last of Fahu's arm engineers being annihilated here by Stug E and Sturmpanzer fire. And there we go, GG, game over. A loss for Fahu, a loss for the 1st Mechanized Corps, a victory for Germany, the CoH2 Deutschland. I mean, overall, initially sort of pretty interesting fight, but it did tend to boil a bit more to a war of attrition. I mean, again, Fahu's force, I think, could have been utilised better. I mean, for someone who went for a lot of Maxims, didn't quite, I think, utilise them too well. He got too focused on the centre, not enough on the sides of the map, which allowed Price to gain an early resource advantage, and basically was ahead for armour ahead of Fahu, which rather gave Price an edge he was able to maintain throughout the fight. The use of the command bunker in the centre, I think, also worked out quite nicely there for him. I mean, he could have flanked more, but then so could Fahu, and Fahu definitely got too much of tunnel vision around here. Never tried to hit the points here. That way, deprive Price of some easier points defending. They'll just bleed him of victory points. So, I mean, there's some improvements there for Fahu, and better placed fuel caches as well, and just more infantry. Because in that regard, Price made really good use of his assault gun. He's just constantly move about and harass Fahu consistently, again, denying him a lot of resources. I mean, overall, very well played there by Fahu. Or not Fahu, but Price. Fahu, again, not bad, but could have been better. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, tell your friends, share it with everyone. If not, send in a replay of your own, provide some feedback in the comment section. This is Imperial Linking. Cheers. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you all tomorrow for another exciting episode